Hello and welcome. So with the NIS beta being actually implemented, I still feel that there's a lot of the things that I suggested that didn't get put in, and the ones I'm going to say now are ones, for the most part, that I feel that they're not going to put in no matter what. It's just not going to, they're not going to get around to it. And it's kind of just the little things. Like how you can't click through this chat like before you would be able to. Before you would also be able to have your private message show up here above your chat, but now you can't. It has to be in your chat box. You also cannot. I don't think you could close anything. I haven't found a way to close it, so you're kind of just stuck with it. So best thing if you're not going to look at it is probably just to minimize it, and that's probably as small as it gets. Another thing that I feel that the previous interface did really well in was it had about 8 of these, right? 8 tabs that had everything in it, and you would be able to minimize and show it like this, except now you can't. All you're given is a close option, and if you wanted to reopen it, you would have to find it in wherever it was and open it and then resize it to fit the area that you want. So it's little things like that that kind of bug me that I feel like the previous interface was doing so well with already. But aside from that, for the first world event, I don't think it was done that well. Well, for me, like as a higher level player, I may have a different opinion than somebody who's like maybe a lower level player or maybe doesn't. I don't know. But I think like they could have done more with this. Like they could have added some PvP aspect, not force it on people, but have like a separate area for PvP where it could be a little competitive, where you're fighting over resources. And I was talking with a couple of my friends where we were talking about how it could have been like stealing creation, where people could like start from scratch so that it's fair to everybody. So you're not fighting people who have like Dragors, whereas you're using like dragon weaponry. It's gonna be somewhat fair in like stealing creation, where everybody starts out the same, and you go make your items through collecting resources like here, and you could kill other people for whatever these things are. I have no idea what they are. And I thought that would be pretty cool. And maybe add some PvE aspect into it, like maybe monsters that drop these. Just little things like that that they could have done this first world event so much better. Now, so far that's mostly negative, but there is something pretty cool. Like, I thought this was pretty cool. The way they added this is you can put 2 inventory slots here, and it's like I could assign it to set quick inventory A, quick inventory B, and it's a lot better if it was like food or if I wanted to drop it, and you could just customize these to whatever you want, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I think that's the only new thing that I've seen since when I did the beta when it was initially launched. But I still like, come on, like this whole thing, even though the whole interface beta, it's supposed to be so that you could customize interfaces. But I kind of wish that they would go a step further and allow you to just like starting from this prayer, going all the way down to okay, skipping the protection prayers, going all the way down to the leech prayers. You're not going to use any of that, excluding, of course, the protection prayers. You're only going to use. Okay, I'm not going to use wrath, and I'm not going to use it. Basically, if I have access to the 3 turmoils, I have soul split, I have the 3 protection prayers, and protect item. That's all I'm going to use, and it's like all this wasted space. That's like 3, 4 rows that I'm not using. I kind of wish that we could just like have a show slash hide option for those. That there's also when you're clicking for the prayers now, since you can drag it to your ability bar, when you're trying to click for it, sometimes you accidentally drag them, which happens quite a lot if you're like trying to think things pretty quick, and that happens a lot. So I kind of wish that they would give you an option where you could just lock it so you can't drag these all around. That'd be pretty cool. That they could probably add. That would probably be a good idea, but it's probably not a high priority. And the second thing, this thing I really do not like. Like I said it in the NIS beta video I did, where okay, it's going clockwise, right? So what was wrong with the previous one, where it had like the granite body right below the helmet? Oh, actually, the glory was first, and then it was the plate body, the legs, the shield was right on the side. It made sense, but now it's going in a circle, and it kind of looks like it's just being put there to just force it on a circle around your character. I don't like that. And then it's like if you lower it so it's not as tall, it becomes this, and you can't even move them around. And dragging, wait, could you actually drag it here? Okay, so it unequips it, but that's all it really does. There's no real point to having it aligned like this. It's the little things that kind of annoy me. So they've added a few more customizable bind options where you can do I don't know what quick heal is, but then familiar action, quick prayers, I thought that was pretty cool. So aside from that, that's pretty much my impression so far. There's a ton of little things they could do with like the whole chat thing that I kind of wish they did better. There's also this whole first world event. I don't feel like it was done that well. There's so many little things like just add a steely creation aspect to it. But yeah, if they could have added something like that to here, that would have been awesome. If there was some kind of PvP aspect, but there isn't. So as for first day of RS3, not really impressed at all. So that was my opinion on the initial release. What do you guys think? Am I just being too cynical about it? About like these little things, or do you agree? Tell me what you think. As always, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day. Oh, this was probably. I'm trying to do this video pretty quick because I haven't slept yet. Uh, I stayed up and somehow I woke up just in time for the release. And I don't know. Like, my friends, they said they were DCing a lot, and I've like okay, I DC sometime where I'm like walking, but it doesn't crash. I haven't crashed yet, so that's good, I guess. But yeah, that's how my day's been so far. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also this little thing you can do with the Duke where he gives you some XP for voting. I have no idea if it's like the Duke thing plus this thing here equals what affects future content. I think it's a little mixture of both. Yeah, so that's my opinion. So thanks for watching. Also, one more thing, they replaced the F1 keys, like the F keys, with these, whatever you call them. But the downside is they don't give you an option to set customizable keybinds to like your inventory, to equipment worn, and prayers. Just a little thing.